right now on 5 on your side at 10.
With the last couple of days of severe weather in mind, we've had a quiet period this weekend, but now we're already looking ahead to Tuesday, our next severe weather threat. Why we're under an enhanced risk just ahead.
Less than 48 hours until Election Day in Missouri and Illinois. We highlight one of the tightest races in St. Louis's Alderman. But first tonight, 17 dogs saved from a hoarding situation, now desperate for a home.
We are so overpopulated. The shelters, the rescues, everybody.
Why some believe legislation is the only way to protect our four-legged friends. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred. Mike Bush has the night off. Volunteers with Lucky Chance Rescue are voicing their concerns as they continue caring for these animals. 5 on your side's Holden Kerwicki has more on their push for pet laws.
When Lucky Chance Animal Rescue got a call about a hoarding case, Shannon Reed and Megan Delaney admit they didn't know what they were getting themselves into.
8 puppies is what we thought we were getting.
We ended up getting, 17 dogs total.
Though they may not look like it now, just 1 week ago, these Labradoodles were covered in mats after being surrendered by a backyard breeder.
They were just caked in feces and urine, and it was horrible.
The smell that came off of them and continued to seep through their skin even after multiple baths was just heartbreaking.
The good news is they were able to find fosters for the dogs.
We have to have fosters to save dogs.
But that's not stopping the vet bills from piling up.
The cost is going to be over $6,000 to care for these 13 dogs, and that's just basic veterinary care. All of the dogs have worms.
We don't know if they're heartworm positive or not, and if they are, that's like $8,000 to $1,000 a dog.
While they continue caring for these animals, they believe it's time for Missouri lawmakers to put a stop to these types of situations and protect our pets.
The legislature has got to do something for the backyard breeders, for consequences for people for dumping dogs, something.
We need our government to help us.
Lucky Chance Rescue hopes to spend the next 4 to 6 weeks nursing these dogs back to health, socializing them, and generally teaching them how to live as inside dogs. If you'd like to help out and donate, just go to our website, ksdk.com, and click on the link to this story. Reporting in Baldwin, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
Let's take a live look outside downtown St. Louis. A quiet spring night across St. Louis. Temperatures nice and warm today. It was sunny, low 70s. The beautiful weather led to long lines at Ted Drew's. People even out in their shorts tonight. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow, but all eyes are on Tuesday this week. Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank is here to tell us why we need to be weather aware. Gary.
Yeah, another significant situation setting up for the region, and how that impacts us remains to be seen, but it is one of those things that maybe the ingredients are even come together a little bit better than Friday. Right now it's quiet and the wind is starting to settle down, and for the most part we're not seeing much. There is a few storms from leftover severe weather that was in the panhandle of Texas moving north, and the northern edge of that I think is going to nudge enough moisture and provide maybe a light shower or even a rumble of thunder overnight, but that is not going to be severe. Temperatures in the low 60s still, even mid to upper 50s, even 70 in Jeff City. And as that moisture settles in, that will help our temperatures stay relatively mild with scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder tonight with 53. But what we can expect this week is a very warm start. More shorts, more ice cream. Sign me up. But the severe weather returns, and that's what we're going to start to focus on as we get close to Tuesday. It's also the warmest day of the year so far. More warmth, more 80s, but that's more fuel for storms. We'll discuss how that impacts us on Tuesday and what we can expect for the week ahead.
Tonight, officials in Illinois confirm at least 4 deaths in the state from the weekend's deadly storms. Governor J.B. Pritzker toured many devastated communities today, including the city of Belvidere. That's where a tornado caused a roof to collapse on a music venue, killing 1 and injuring dozens of others. 3 other people died in Crawford County after their home collapsed.
Please know that the people of Illinois grieve with the families of those who were lost, and we stand ready to assist all of you and the injured in your recovery. You are not alone.
Today, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders toured tornado damage in her state with FEMA officials. A state of emergency has been declared. 5 people were killed in Arkansas. More than 30 people were killed Friday by the line of storms that hit 7 states. We are less than 36 hours away from the polls opening on both sides of the river. In St. Louis City, voters will have their say on a new, smaller version of the Board of Aldermen. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is here with one of those hotly contested races. Mark?
And it's crunch time on the campaign trail as politicians try to win your vote, and undecided voters have just 2 days left before that major turnover at City Hall. We went to South City to see one of the closest races in the spring primary, where the two top vote getters were just 85 votes apart.
If you got a knock on the door this weekend, chances are it was a politician or their campaign asking for your vote.
Going door to door.
Candidates running neck and neck in the new First Ward in the southern tip of St. Louis seem to be running on similar platforms.
On public safety and basic city services.
Public safety, they're about city services.
But press a little harder, you can start to make out some daylight between them.
The qualifications for the job, which I do think is the real difference.
Incumbent Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer says her experience sets her apart.
I have 2 years experience on the job. My constituents know that I'm responsive to them.
We asked Sheriff's Deputy Tony Kirchner,
What's the difference between a vote for you and a vote for Ann Schweitzer?
Well, I support the police.
In social media posts, Schweitzer says any suggestion she doesn't support police is a bald-faced lie.
I support police and fire, making sure that their pay is as good as we can get it, really.
Schweitzer supported the recent record raise for city officers. Kirchner said he's running against dishonest, scum-peddling politicians. We asked him, would he vote any differently than Schweitzer has in office?
Well, I went a lot of things on spending. I don't know a full understanding of where all this money's been allocated for.
The candidates hold slightly different views on the city's outlook, too.
I have seen an improvement. I think trash is being picked up a lot more consistently in the 13th Ward. The 911 calls are being answered quicker.
While Schweitzer says things are bad but improving,
our officers are leaving by the day. We have all the good officers that have left to go out to St. Louis County.
Kirchner says things are so bad he's backing Missouri Republicans' plan to strip the city of control of its own police department.
The most important thing to me here is that people who live in the city of St. Louis have control over their elected officials, their administration, and their police department. If there is a state takeover, that is not the case.
In public forums recently, Kirchner has also flinched at some of the press coverage and scrutiny around his private life that often comes with running for public office, and races across the city are heating up as well. We'll have more coverage of those other hot ward races tomorrow, continuing right up through election night when polls close at 7 o'clock.
For more information on the top races and what you need to know before casting your ballot, go to kstk.com/election and then join us Tuesday night. We'll have results on more than 400 races once the polls close at 7, with expanded coverage at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow, a St. Charles woman found murdered inside a Maryland Heights apartment will be laid to rest. A visitation for Jackie Mitchell just wrapped up about 2 hours ago. Her funeral is tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Newcomers St. Peter's Chapel. The 39-year-old was reported missing on March 14th. Her body was found 6 days later in Joseph DeJoy's apartment. He is charged with second-degree murder and is being held on a $1 million bond. A hearing is set for tomorrow morning for the St. Louis man accused of causing the crash that led to a Tennessee teen losing her legs. Daniel Riley faces several felony charges. He was out on bond at the time of the February crash. Court records show he violated GPS monitoring dozens of times. Tonight, the young victim of that crash is out of a rehab facility and is recovering at her Nashville home. The family of 17-year-old Janae Edmondson announced the update this weekend. She was in St. Louis at the time of the crash for a volleyball tournament. A GoFundMe page has raised nearly $800,000 for Janae. Tonight, local celebrities hitting the basketball court for the Stop the Violence charity basketball game. The 16th annual game at Jennings High School promotes nonviolence in the community. Artists like Kiwan from the St. Lunatics and Brian Zeus Rebel Waters came out in support.
It's just showing everybody that the neighborhood can come together, that the music, entertainment, industry can come together here, and we're doing something positive for the kids.
The money raised today goes towards the Stars in the Sky Foundation. That's a nonprofit dedicated to ending domestic violence.